Scientists and collaborators are planning to reintroduce around 1 million oysters into the Solent by the end of the year. The project was started as a pilot in 2015 and is now thriving as new cages are being introduced at the MDL Port Hamble Marina in Southampton.
Last year we had 6 cages. We had 3 high density and 3 low density cages at each site. Now we've expanded that to 6 high density, 6 low density cages, and 2 to replenish any that die, and we've got that across 6 locations. So we're monitoring about 1,080 oysters every month. We've worked really closely with MDL Marinas to improve the cage design, to remove any flaws that we had, and now the new cage design incorporates micro reefs, which are essentially Pringle tubes filled with oysters, and we can now have 10 oysters where we had 1 oyster. And we're hoping that these increased densities will increase successful reproduction, and this will produce many more larvae than we were hoping for, and these will hopefully settle in areas that we'll manage, and some areas will be protected from the fishery, but other areas will be allowed to be fished as well, so it provides an income for the fishermen and also protects the marine environment.
When we had the opportunity to take part in this exercise, the really compelling point was the filtration ability of the oysters. We'd underestimated just what they could do for the river systems and the areas where our marinas are located. When we understood just how impactful they were, we thought we were very compelled to try and help wherever we could in reintroducing the species to the Solent.
At first glance, oysters can be overlooked for their many abilities. They are able to filter 200 litres of water a day, so chances are high that with more of these powerful ecosystem engineers, water quality will improve. But that's not all.
The oysters themselves are actually the habitat that provide a home for a multitude of species. We can find crabs, amphipods, shrimps, a whole host of algal species. The list is very long of the number of species that these oysters can provide homes for. These then provide food for other fisheries as well, so it's just an upward spiral.
10,000 juvenile oysters are set to be transferred to cages at 4 marinas across the Solent over the next month. The project, which was brought to life by the Blue Marine Foundation and other collaborators, is also seeing supporters in the public eye.
I've spent a great deal of my life around the Solent. I went to the University of Portsmouth. I've spent a huge amount of time sailing in this area. I'm passionate about the oceans. So when I first heard about what Blue Marine Foundation were doing with this oyster reintroduction program, I was fascinated. So I believe that part of our role, if we can, is to reintroduce.
We got the idea from the Billion Oyster project in New York Harbour, which has been going for about 6 years. So we thought we could restore the oyster to the Solent, and we thought we did it on a big scale. So we're planning to put in 5 million oysters, 50 millimetres, so we're talking about 2.5 inches in old money, into the Solent.
As a far-travelled TV adventurer and passionate conservationist, Ben Fogel has seen how human impact has changed the ecosystem.
It's almost like there's an attack on the oceans from every single side, and I truly think it's our role to try and do something about that. Every little really will make a huge difference, and listen, it's for us, it's for our children and their children. We really owe it to the planet to actually start respecting it.
Nicole Ris, for That's Solent.